What do you think about the work?
Well, as planned. You know what? We're coming off a real serious, tough work, if you want to call the Arkansas Derby a work. But that race was a tough race, so we got to be a little bit careful here, coming back with a series of works. You know, trying to improve on the conditioning. We don't need to do that. We're probably pretty fit. The other day when we worked her, I thought that she showed quite a bit of speed, and we were very happy with that. But then today we were very careful to tell Luis to try to get, equal fractions of 12 and just get a maintenance 3/4. Normally I don't work a horse 3/4, but by doing that, just keeping in the 12 range, I let her go out another 8.
Talk about Luis as a jockey. I mean, obviously he's one of the tops in the country, but why you thought he was a good fit for this filly?
Oh, he's a good fit for any of them. He actually is one of my favorites. I when he was, first getting his feet wet around here, I put him on Will Take Charge and, those good horses we had. And he's just a super person to work with. He's a professional in every way, and a classy guy. I don't think you have to worry about any of his personal life in any way, shape, or form, and that makes it comforting when you're in these big races. So we're really tickled to get him.
All the better that his agent is one of your proteges, Kieran McLaughlin.
Well, we like to help out where we can, but Kieran's done a terrific job with him. He really has done well with him, and Richie DePass had him really rolling, and there's been no drop off at all with Kieran. So I think that his next 8 or 10 years are going to be very special for him.
Were you thinking with the Derby versus the Kentucky Oaks, the mile and a quarter at this stage of her life might just be asking?
We had no intention of running in the Derby. Going a mile and a quarter, 20 horse field, against whether you could make a case for she's one of the better ones or not in the country, which you can, meaning 3-year-olds. We had no intention of that. We were running at $1.25 million, and that in itself was the incentive. And if she'd have won the Arkansas Derby, we would have not been in the Kentucky Derby either.
Why wouldn't you even think about the Derby? Because certainly you've thought about the Derby before with fillies.
No, not with her. I think that the 20 horse field. We had three questionable rides. She overcome 2 of them. And the third one, jumped up and bit us. And so we didn't have really a smooth spring going into this, one here. So we were pretty adamant that we were going to stay with the Oaks and try to be the best filly in the country.
She was nominated for the Triple Crown. Might you be looking at a race 2 weeks later with her, depending on what happens in the Oaks?
That was what the nomination was for.
The Preakness.
That's what we thought. We could, if we had a big Oaks, now we go back in distance in the Preakness. We go to a 14 horse field versus 20. We go on a different surface, tight turns. Her speed would be good. It changes the whole game when you go to the Preakness.
And you love the Preakness. You love the Derby. You love the Preakness as well.
I have good luck at the Preakness. I always have had.
The Kentucky Oaks field, you're another former protege, has Nest and Todd Pletcher. You've got Shug has that Kathleen O, who's unbeaten. You've got the unbeaten 2-year-old filly champion, who might not even be the favorite in there. It's a really, you have Secret Oath that's been very, tough.
I think without question. I've been 41 years here or something similar. I don't know, maybe longer. And I think it's the best Oaks I've seen, and I won 4 of them. And yet I have to, without reservation, say I think this is the toughest Oaks I've seen. I think it could be as interesting or more interesting of race, or more competitive a race than the Derby itself.
Yeah, you say you won 4 Oaks. You might have won more if a couple of those fillies that you ran in the Derby might have been. Serena Song might have been pretty tough in the Oaks.
We could have switched a few of them over and had 7 or 8, maybe. Yeah, you're right about that.
Now, Ethereal Road worked also, and I haven't seen a time on him. How did because he just ran?
Yeah, he had a maintenance work big time. He's not a big workhorse anyhow, but he went 102 flat. and 5/8, and that was plenty. All we want to do is let him open his lungs a little bit and stretch his legs. We were not. He just ran. He ran in the bluegrass back in the Lexington in 1 week, and that was only 10 days ago. So we sure didn't need to tighten any screws down on him.
What about his race in the Lexington? What did you make of that?
We think that it was just a case of maybe coming back too soon. You know, we tried it. We wanted to get in the Derby. If I thought we were going to be 21st. But on the other hand, when you look at the points totals, we got those extra 2 points there that probably put us ahead of all the 20s. So, in hindsight, I don't know what I'd have done. But in all fairness, Aaron Stones and his wife want to be in the Derby, and I think it's important for me to try to give a client that opportunity. Not too important for me. I've been there. But if they can get in, you know, they're sitting 21st right now, according to the leaderboard that Gary Permissimo told me yesterday. We could get a scratch. If we don't, it's no big deal. We'll sit on the all-star. It's not a great field for big marquee horses. We don't have Arrogate in there, or Justify, or so. Everybody might say, well, why not me, you know?
Sure. And so why not Ethereal Road? Make a case for Ethereal Road if he gets in the Kentucky
He'd have
Derby.
to move up. I think it would be more of a case of being part of it. I've been around long enough, seen enough of them not to have any grandiose ideas that we're going to go over there, and if we get in, we got to, we're going to win it or even be on the board. We got to move up. We'd have to run a better race. I feel like he's probably as competitive with most of them. Should have won the Rebel. That was a good race. We just moved a little bit too early, which is understandable, but that was a good one. And I think that the Bluegrass, I just didn't think we got a trip. But that track that day, drying out, whatever you want to call it, we always blame the track if we don't have any other excuse, but I thought it did compromise him.
Do you have a who's riding him in the Derby if he gets in?
Victor Espinoza.
Yeah. What did he tell you after? Because he rode him in the Lexington, correct?
He said, I'd like to ride him back in the Derby. He said that knowing what I know now, I might be a lot closer,
Yeah, he certainly knows when to get the
Yeah.
job done.
Yeah, he rides in the big ones a lot. He's okay.